Armand sits rigid at the dining table, jaw clenched tight with barely suppressed anger. Maya watches him, her expression unreadable, as Armand abruptly pushes his plate away. Armand's voice cracks with emotion. "Take it away. I'm not hungry anymore." Maya confronts Armand, the silent tension between them palpable. Maya's voice cracks with anger. "You dragged me here, humiliated me, forced me to cook for you, and now you're playing moody prince who's lost his appetite. Grow up." Armand towers over Maya, closing the distance between them. Armand sneers, his voice laced with scorn. "You think you've become brave? You think I don't see the fear in your eyes?" In the tense quiet of the dining room, Maya stands resolute, her gaze fixed on Armand, a challenge in her eyes. Her voice trembles slightly as she admits, "I was afraid. Of you. Of this house." She confesses, "Of what I became after you left me." Her eyes harden with determination as she warns, "But I've got nothing left to lose now, Armand. That makes me dangerous." Armand pours himself a drink, the clinking of the glass shattering the tense silence between them. Maya's voice cuts through the silence, demanding, "Why did you bring me here? Really? What are you trying to prove?" Armand stands rigid, his face a taut mask of jealousy, as unspoken accusations hang heavy in the air. His voice cracks with a blend of disbelief and pain, as Armand confesses, "You said you were sleeping with someone else, that you'd moved on. I didn't believe you." Maya sits at the dining table, her face flushed with anger. "So you paid for me? Like an object?" Maya's voice cracks with disbelief. Armand responds, "That's not it. I needed to test you." Maya stands, her voice trembling with anger and hurt, across from Armand. The untouched remnants of a lavish dinner underscore the tension between them. "So this was a test? To see if I was still pure?" Maya's words cut through the silence. "You arrogant bastard. You broke me, left me, and now you're angry because I didn't break the way you expected me to." Armand sits alone at the dining table, head in his hands. He looks up, a flicker of pain in his eyes, and whispers brokenly, "You're right. I broke you, and am still breaking." Maya bursts out of the mansion, her fury palpable, a storm brewing in her eyes. Ruby stands near the entrance, her expression a mix of concern and curiosity. Ruby cautiously approaches Maya, her voice laced with gentle worry. "Is everything okay, Maya?" Maya strides away, her departure halted by Armand's commanding voice. Armand's cold words cut through the air. "You can leave if you want, Maya, but remember, you're under contract." Maya stands defiantly, fury burning in her eyes. "A contract doesn't give you the right to treat me like trash," Maya spits out. "I might have signed your goddamn paper, but I'm not your slave." Armand approaches Maya, his face a canvas of regret and yearning. Armand speaks, his voice thick with emotion. "You're right. You're not a slave." Armand's confession hangs in the air. "You're a woman I loved once, maybe still do." Maya stands firm, her eyes burning with a mix of pain and fury. She gestures wildly, her voice dripping with scorn as she questions, "Loved me? Is that what this is?" Her voice rises with disbelief. "You think love looks like this? Buying me for a month? Forcing me to cook for you like a servant? Humiliating me?" Armand stands, his shoulders slumped, overwhelmed by the weight of his confession. The opulent mansion looms, a silent, unblinking witness to Armand's inner turmoil. His voice cracking with raw emotion, Armand confesses, "I don't know what I'm doing, Maya. I couldn't stand the idea of you with someone else." Outside the Sharia mansion, Maya confronts Armand, the air thick with unspoken words. "You divorced me, Armand. You left. You chose to walk away." Maya's voice pierces the silence. Armand responds with a simple, painful truth. "For Maisha." Maya stands defiantly, her eyes blazing with accusation as she confronts Armand. Maya accuses Armand. "Maisha? She's still the reason, huh? The ghost you keep chasing while destroying everyone else in the process?" Armand stands defeated before the imposing Sharia mansion, its grandeur mocking his despair. His voice cracks with anguish as he admits, "I don't even know where she is anymore." Desperation laces his words. "I thought I'd find her, that she'd come back to me." He concludes with a haunting realization, "But all I found is silence." Maya stands, her expression a mix of disappointment, as the grand mansion looms behind them, bearing silent witness to their strained exchange. Maya's voice cuts through the silence, delivering a harsh truth. "Then maybe it's time. You stopped looking for a dead love and started facing the ones you killed on the way." At Shahir Mansion, Maya stands tall, her voice cutting through the air with icy resolve. "I'll stay. Because I signed that paper," Maya declares, her words echoing with defiance. "But don't confuse that with forgiveness," she continues, her tone hardening with each syllable. She concludes with chilling clarity. "I'm not here for you, Armand. I'm here to survive." Maya leans against the door, the day's burden heavy on her shoulders. She pushes off the door and slowly walks towards the bed, each step measured with exhaustion. She sits heavily on the edge of the bed, the mattress yielding beneath her. With trembling hands, She pulls out the contract from her bag. In the dim guest room, Maya sits at the desk, the weight of the contract heavy in the air. Maya's eyes dart across the fine print, a clause suddenly seizing her attention. A cold dread washes over Maya as the full implications of her signature sink in. At the guest room, Ruby pauses, her knuckles raised to knock, a silent invitation hanging in the air. The sound of insistent knocks echoes. "Maya, dinner is ready." A muffled reply filters through the door, a voice retorting, "I will bring it." Maya sets down Armand's dinner plate, maintaining a professional demeanor. Armand comments, "Sit." Armana sits alone at the polished dining table, surrounded by the rich aroma of a freshly cooked meal. Maya enters, meticulously adjusting the silverware, her presence filling the room. Armana's voice breaks the silence. "Did you cook this, Maya?" "Ruby cooked it, but I plated it," Maya replies, her words echoing in the silent dining room. Across the dining table, Armand and Maya's eyes lock, a silent battle waged over unspoken words. The clinking of silverware punctuates the heavy silence, each sound a tiny hammer blow against the fragile piece. Armand's voice slices through the tension. "You were always good at pretending to be strong, even when you were breaking inside." Across the dining table, Maya's intense gaze burns through Armand, each glance a silent accusation. The air crackles with unspoken tension, words hanging heavy between them. Maya's voice cuts through the silence. "And you were always good at pretending you didn't care, even when you were bleeding." Armand sits across from Maya, his face etched with concern and confusion. He leans in, his gaze piercing, demanding answers. "Why did you lie? About what?" "That night, at the club. You said you'd been with others, but I know you hadn't. You were." Maya sits rigidly, the heavy silence amplifying the tension between her and the unseen figure. Her voice cracks as she challenges. "It doesn't matter. You got what you paid for, right?" Armand sits across from Maya, the silence amplifying the unspoken tension. He pleads, his eyes reflecting the pain he tries to conceal. "Don't do that." Maya's voice drips with venom as she retorts. "Do what? Remind you of who I've become? Or who you made me become?" Maya arrives at the Shahryar mansion under the cover of night. I pause at the gate of the Shahryar mansion, hesitating before taking the step that could change everything. The guard's stern demeanor softens momentarily as he speaks with Armand's maid. The heavy gate swings open, granting Maya access. Maya stands in awe, completely taken by the magnificent Shahryar mansion. Fear grips me as I approach the Shahryar mansion's imposing entrance. Armand sits motionless, his eyes sealed shut, lost in a labyrinth of thought. Maya's words echo in his mind, each syllable a burden on his soul. The weight of unspoken truths crushes his chest, a silent scream trapped within. Armand sits alone in the dim light, shadows dancing around him. He stares at his hands, lost in the replay of recent events. Maya's face flickers in his thoughts, a painful memory. Obsession. The word echoes in the silence. Armand remembers divorcing Maya for Maisha, his one true love. Armand is trapped in doubt, questioning his choices. I wonder why I let Maya back into my life. Armand's heart aches with worry, as he silently hopes for Maisha's survival. A gentle knock breaks the silence, followed by Ruby's soft smile. Ruby announces softly, "Armand, Maya has arrived." Armand sits at his desk, surrounded by a sea of papers. He calls out, "Ruby, send Maya up." Maya quietly enters Armand's room. Armand speaks, his voice a low murmur in the room. "So, you've come? Took your sweet time." Maya stands, her tone icy, as she recounts the upheaval in her carefully planned schedule. Her voice cuts through the air, each word a precise strike. "My boss told me you've rented me for a month, Mr. Armand Shahryar. I didn't know my services were so in demand. Because of you, my other clients were left very disappointed." She continues, "I had plans tonight with someone else. I was ready, but when I reached the club, I found out I had to come here instead." Her final words hang heavy. "So, I had to cancel on everyone else." Armand advances towards Maya, his face contorted with scorn. He confronts her with chilling words. "So, you were planning to please someone else tonight, wearing that?" Maya stumbles over her words, visibly flustered, as she attempts to clarify the situation. "Yes. I mean, we were supposed to go to a hotel. I would have changed there. I mean, I can't exactly walk the streets in a hot dress, can I?" Armand mocks Maya's modesty. "Oh, I see. So this job doesn't make you feel ashamed, but stepping out in a revealing dress does? How sweet you do have a sense of modesty after all." Maya's tone hardens, attempting to steer the conversation back to professional boundaries. With a sharp edge to her voice, Maya asserts, "Mr. Shahryar, let's skip the small talk. Let's just get down to business." Maya states her intention with unwavering resolve. "I'd like to finish my job and leave as soon as possible." The room is filled with unspoken words. The tension between Armand and Maya is palpable. The power dynamics shift, leaving a lingering sense of unease.